As you guys all ponder slapping that like button, go ahead and get ready for what's going to be a quite entertaining video. We didn't get this big Phil Spencer quote before E3, and I got to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in that, okay? Every year, we get a big Phil Spencer quote, right? I mean, every year, without fail, leading up to E3. It's going to be the biggest E3 ever for Xbox, the greatest Xbox games lineup, more exclusives than ever. It's always some kind of big grandeur. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And now here we are, a handful of days away from E3. And to be honest with you, I just thought that this was really funny. Like, Phil Spencer maybe even kind of topped this with what they were talking about with, the Xbox today. It's absolutely incredible. Now, incredible into the point where I'm literally was laughing. Like, I could not contain my laughter. I'm laughing at this stuff so bad because of the ridiculous statements. He rarely takes shots at Sony, but he really did take some shots at Sony. And, I thought this was kind of funny because he really kind of focused on, clouds and stuff like this, but also the games that they want to release and stuff like that, which I thought was interesting because that all sounds good. Like, I'm not knocking any of that stuff. The thing that I'm knocking is, the fact of the matter is that he's making Xbox really the least relevant that it's ever been, and this was the quote that really kind of got me just chuckling. I thought this was hilarious. So this one I thought was funny. They said we want to get to the point of releasing a new game every quarter, according to Matt Booty. Games take up to 4 or 5 years to make, and the reality is that not every project we start will make it to launch. But if you add up all that, that's how we've gotten to our state today, with 24 studios making games across a variety of genres. And we know that a thriving entertainment service needs a consistent and exciting flow of new content. So our portfolio will continue to grow as our service continues to grow. Now, Xbox boss Phil Spencer continued, and this is the part, guys. Hold on to your butts. If you're not sitting down, please sit down. Prepare for laughter in 3, 2, 1. Phil Spencer continued. The bottom line is that we simply put out more top quality games in front of more people than other companies. Listen to the balls on this guy. I will repeat this. The bottom line is we simply put out more top quality games in front of more people than other companies. Now, the Xbox apologists will go, well, they put it out on PC and, cloud and this, so they are putting it out. But the part that I'm laughing at is the top quality part. Like, that part to me is absolutely and utterly asinine and ridiculous. They have no top quality games as far as I'm concerned. They haven't released a single first party game this entire year. How the hell are they going to say that they go out there and put out the most top quality? Come on. Let's just get real with this stuff, right? We gotta be real. Call a spade a spade. Pretty ridiculous. Now, he says across the Xbox ecosystem, we're now reaching hundreds of millions of people each month, which is a lie because that would insinuate multiple hundreds of millions, and we know that their monthly active users isn't that high. And he says, and our total addressable market is going to grow while others are relatively static. Here's the part where he kind of takes a shot at Sony, which I thought to be really funny as well. Basically, he says, as the Xbox ecosystem grows in both content and total size, it becomes more valuable to both players and our partners. So right now, we are the only platform shipping games on console, PC, and cloud simultaneously. Others bring console games to PC years later, not only making people buy their hardware up front, but then charging them a second time to play on PC, which is a shot definitely at Sony because Sony does that, brings some of their games to PC years later. But again, it's a business. Microsoft was forced to do the whole Play Anywhere stuff because nobody was buying their games on Xbox, and they had to basically say, we'll give you multiple free copies. Please, please, please buy our crap. So now he's like, probably feeling bad that Sony has making more money off of that than Microsoft is, and they kind of feel like they want to take some shots. And he says, and of course, all of our games are on a subscription service day one. Part of the benefit was also about showing the commitment of the wider Microsoft organization to the Xbox business. Yeah, like to me, I found this to be very funny, and I found it to be interesting because this wasn't the only thing that they kind of talked about. They also very much talked about the idea that they're going to be building Xbox, quote unquote, into TVs and streaming devices, and they've already announced this. So basically, right before E3, they announced that the Xbox console is as irrelevant as it's ever going to be. So, Xbox Game Pass has been a success for Microsoft this generation, and the company's not slowing down. Microsoft on Thursday announced major plans to grow and evolve the service over time, while it also released new statistics as well. Microsoft is working with TV manufacturers around the world to embed the Xbox experience directly into internet-connected TVs. The idea is you'll be able to play Xbox games with no additional hardware except for a controller. And their hope is that it builds up a big audience, but the problem is nobody's talking about Luna, nobody cares about Stadia, all these things kind of shut down, and all these things kind of just go opposite direction than what everybody thinks. I mean, not only do you need really good internet, but you also have to, put up with a lot of additional lag and stuff like that. Additionally, Microsoft announced that it is exploring new subscription offerings for Game Pass that will allow more players around the world can experience the most immersive and fun games across devices, geographies, and financial realities. But the funny thing is, and I hear this brought up quite a bit, where they're like, oh, well, now people in other countries that can't afford a console can, play games. But, these TVs, these smart TVs are more expensive than a console. These phones required to actually run this halfway decent are more expensive than the console. They have an entry-level $299 console, which is the cheapest entry of barrier for there is, because you also have to take into consideration that Game Pass is $180 a year. So you're saying they can't afford a console, but they can afford a TV or a phone and to pay $200 a year for a subscription service. I mean, that kind of is counterproductive to me anyway. In an effort to expand Xbox, Microsoft is working with telecom providers on new purchasing models like Xbox All Access that allow users to get a console for a monthly price, which again, you're still paying the end price and still paying for something each month. Let's see. And again, we have no numbers on the success of this, so that's something that people have to kind of keep in mind as well. Like, we don't know how that is. We know Xbox is, losing 2-1 in the console sales to PlayStation, but at the same time, we have no idea exactly, kind of what's going on with their monthly access thing because they don't announce any of this stuff. They also announced the cloud gaming through PC browsers will open for Game Pass members in the next few weeks across Chrome, Safari, and Edge. And they're in the final stages of adding Xbox Series X server racks to its data centers around the world, so gamers games can be streamed to the cloud, look and run better, and they can expect faster loading times and better frame rates. Later in 2021, cloud gaming will be added directly to the Xbox app on PC, while it will also be integrated into Xbox consoles themselves, so players can try games before they download, which might be the only real applicable thing that they do with that cloud. In terms of new stats, these are always the funny parts, and I always make fun of this. Here's the stats Microsoft announced about Game Pass. 30% more Game Pass users play 30% more genres and 40% more games overall. Then who? 90% of subscribers told Microsoft that they play a game they otherwise would have overlooked. Microsoft said that engagement with Xbox Game Pass titles on average is up by more than 8 times when they go on Game Pass. Subscribers are spending more as well. As Microsoft said, members spend 50% more on content than non-subscribers. So 14% of people know this, while 28.5% eat ham sandwiches instead of turkey sandwiches on Turkey Day, which would be Thanksgiving, but some people know that as Turkey Day. So, we can all throw out these statistics and depend on what it means. But again, Microsoft is really kind of betting the farm on this stuff that's really been done before. Sony actually did put PlayStation Now on TVs and stuff like that, and it failed pretty quickly. You have to just think, look, Luna is a pretty good offer too. If you think about it, there's a good subscription service for that. Stadia has a subscription service as well. there's a lot of fanboy chatter because there's a lot of Xbox fanboys that just like, oh my god, this is going to be the hugest thing ever. They're going to reach hundreds of millions of people. And, you know, that is rarely the case. You know, and it's probably not going to be the case. They're really kind of setting themselves up for failure or whatever. But what this does do is make their console less and less relevant, which makes it look, and it also ends any discussion on there being something called an Xbox exclusive, because as we know, how the hell can there be something exclusive if you can play it anywhere? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, they very much devalue and continue to devalue their own console. And right before E3, funny stuff. So slap that like button. Let me know what you guys think. Slap yourselves. Slap everybody. Slap your mama. Slap Phil Spencer. Slap some sense to him. Let's go. Rack him up. Crapgamer out.